Good day. For today's lecture, we'll talk about the CNS blood supply. And then for next week, or the last lecture, before the finals, we'll talk about the spinal cord. So, like the other body system, the CNS blood supply has its arterial supply and also the venous drainage. So the arterial supply of the CNS is derived from your internal carotid artery and vertebral arteries. And all arteries entering the surface of the brain are end arteries. So they have no precapillary anastomosis with other arteries, and obstruction of them causes infarction of the supplied territory. So this image shows you the circle of Willis, or these are the arteries that supply, or the arterial blood supply of your central nervous system. So this is the anterior part and this is the posterior part. Here's your basilar artery and then your vertebral artery. So this is the posterior and this is the anterior. And the rest of the part of the circle of Willis. Your internal carotid artery. So in here, as you can see in the lateral view, ito yung internal carotid artery natin. So we have the common carotid artery dito sa area na to, then it will bifurcate into the external and internal carotid artery. So your internal carotid artery is very tortuous course. 6 bends in all before its terminal division. Okay, so may mga segment yung ating carotid artery. The artery enters the cranial cavity via the carotid canal of the petrous bone. It then passes horizontally and medially above the cartilage, filling the foramen lacerum, where it turns upwards and medially to enter the posterior part of the cavernous sinus. Then the artery curves upwards again and pierces the dura and arachnoid motor to enter the subarachnoid space medial to your anterior clinoid process. The artery then turns posteriorly and finally curves upwards and divides into the anterior and middle cerebral arteries. Then the cavernous and supraclinoid portions of the internal carotid artery are referred to as your carotid siphon. Later, mas ma-appreciate or makikita natin yung tinatawag na carotid siphon. So the reason of the tortuosity of the internal carotid artery is unknown, but it may have a role in reducing the pulsating force of the blood supply to the brain. And then your carotid siphon naman, it is tortoise shaped then, tortoise configuration of the internal carotid artery begins at the posterior cavernous part up to the bifurcation of the ICA. So there are 7 segments in the Boutelier classification for internal carotid artery segments. So we have the cervical, so nakalibel, so this is the cervical part. Then we have the petrous part, the lacerum, the cavernous in here, the clinoid, the ophthalmic, and then finally the communicating, or the terminal segment of your internal carotid artery. So this is a lateral view. Okay, kapag sa lateral or sagittal view, ito yung hitsura ng segment na yan. So, isa-isahin natin sila. Yung C1, yung cervical segment, so wala siyang branch. So, note that your C1, C3, C5, lahat sila walang branches. Okay, so only the C2, C4, C6, and C7. So, except for the C7, lahat ng odd number, wala silang branches. And then yung mga even, lahat sila may branches. Okay? So yung C2 or yung petrous, the horizontal segment, ang branches niya are the caroticotympanic artery and the Vidian artery. Then yung C4, the cavernous segment, meningohypophyseal trunk and the inferolateral trunk. Then the ophthalmic or the supraclinoid segment are the ophthalmic artery and superior hypophyseal artery. Then finally, yung C7 are the communicating segment or yung terminal segment. The branches are the posterior communicating artery, anterior choroidal artery, anterior cerebral artery, and the middle cerebral artery. And then let's go to your vertebral artery. Yung vertebral artery natin, it arises from the posterior superior aspect of the first part of the subclavian artery. And then the left vertebral artery is the dominant artery in 80% of the cases. So majority, yung left vertebral artery yung dominant. Your vertebral artery enter the vertebral foramen. It passes posterior to the lateral mass of the atlas and enters the skull through the foramen magnum. It pierces the dura and arachnoid motor and passes anterior to the medulla until it unites with its fellow at the lower border of the pons to become the basilar artery. So ito na siya, naging basilar artery na siya sa area na to. Okay, so dito siya nagpapasya sa lateral mass ng atlas and then mag-enter siya sa skull through the foramen magnum. Tapos magiging basilar artery na siya. So this is an example of your vertebral artery on MRA. So as you can see, nagkakaroon siya ng bow tie configuration. So this angiogram shows a bow tie appearance where the vertebral artery wraps around the atlas before ascending to the cranium. So ito yung area ng atlas before mag-ascend siya sa cranium. It is easy to see how a chronic malpositioning of this vertebra would cause disturbance in blood flow. So kung merong malpositioning dun sa vertebra, it can cause disturbance or obstruction in blood flow. So again, this is your vertebral artery on MRA, showing a bow tie configuration dun sa level ng lateral ng atlas. Then the basilar artery. So your basilar artery, it is formed by the union of two vertebral arteries at the lower border of the pons. It lies close to the midline, anterior to the pons in the pontine cistern. So ito yung area ng pontine cistern. So this is the pons, then ito yung area ng pontine cistern. Okay, so ito na yung basilar artery natin. Okay, ito yung pontine cistern, then ito yung basilar artery natin from union of the two vertebral arteries. So what are the branches of your basilar artery? So mapapansin natin, maliliit lang yung branches niya. We have the pontine arteries, the internal auditory artery, the anterior inferior cerebellar artery or the AICA, the superior cerebellar artery, and the right and left posterior cerebral artery. So these are the branches of your basilar artery. So example images of your basilar artery on MRI. Okay, so this is an axial view of your MRI showing you the basilar arteries area ng pontine cistern. So ito yung pons, then ito yung pontine cistern. So ayun si basilar artery. And this one, MRA ito. MRA, showing you the area of the basilar artery formed by the union of the two vertebral arteries in here. Then this one, angiogram. So same sila, pareho silang study of the vessels, okay, of the CNS. Okay, so this is your basilar artery. Palagi natin titingnan. Ito yung union, okay, from two vertebral arteries. So again, ito yung posterior ng patient, ito yung anterior ng patient. Ito yung anterior, ito yung posterior. Ito yung anterior, ito yung posterior. The right, left, this one, ito din yung right, ito yung left, and then right and left. Okay, so ito yung ating angiogram, then this one is an axial view of an MRI. So circle of Willis. So this anastomosis between right and left ICA and the posterior cerebral artery. So ito na yung area ng ating circle of Willis. It forms a circle that encloses the optic chiasm and the pituitary stalk in the suprasellar and interpeduncular cisterns. The circle of Willis is subject to many variations. Although it is complete in 90% of subjects, the most common variant vessel is the posterior communicating artery. So may mga variant tayong makikita usually kapag nagbasa tayo ng angiogram. No, yun nga, the most common variant vessel na makikita natin is the posterior communicating artery. So it has 10 components, the circle of Willis, no, na ito maganda naman yung image, naka-label naman sila. So what are the 10 components of the circle of Willis? So we have the two ICAs, internal carotid artery. We have two proximal or horizontal ACA segment, the anterior cerebral artery. One anterior communicating artery. Two posterior communicating arteries, the basilar artery, and the two proximal or horizontal posterior cerebral arteries. Okay? So yung anterior cerebral artery, posterior cerebral artery, may mga segment din yan. Okay? So for the vascular territories, entire central base of the skull, including the hypothalamus, the internal capsule, optic tracts, thalamus, and midbrain. So yun yung territory ng circle of Willis natin. So for the radiographic features of the arterial blood supply, so we are using angiogram. So the internal carotid arteries are catheterized, and views of both vertebral arteries are usually possible via contrast injection into one vertebral artery with retrograde filling of the other from the basilar artery. So again, kapag angiogram, and for better visualization of the vessel, so nagbibigay ng contrast. Okay, to properly delineate the vessels and to detect abnormalities of or pathology. And then we have the CTA, CT angiogram. Contrast enhancement aids visualization of vessels on CT scan. So yung CTA naman, so CT scan yung gagamitin dyan, and then the MR angiography using your MRI. So sa MRI or MRA, we have the what we so-called time of flight angiography. So kapag narinig natin yung time of flight angiography, MRI yun. It is an MRI technique to visualize flow within the vessels without the need to administer contrast. Okay, kung sa CTA angiogram, nagbibigay tayo ng contrast. Sa MRA, specifically the time of flight angiography, TOF, we don't need to administer contrast. It is based on the phenomenon of flow-related enhancement of spins entering into an imaging slice. As a result of being unsaturated, these spins give more signal that surrounds stationary spins. Okay, so yung TOF, yung time of flight, the stationary tissues are magnetically saturated or it becomes black, while the fresh blood flowing will have high magnetization or will appear white. Okay, yung fresh blood na nagfo-flow, mag-a-appear na white sila because of high magnetization. So this is an example of circle of Willis in your angiogram. Okay, so this one, lateral ulit to or sagittal. Okay, so ito yung basilar artery natin, then ito yung posterior communicating. So ito yung posterior area, and then ito yung anterior natin. Okay, ito naman, nakikita natin yung pica or the pica and the PCA in here. And then also your basilar artery in here. Okay, so this is an example of the angiogram, no, ng circle of Willis. Okay, if ever may mga thrombus formation, aneurysm, or any pathology sa vessel, mga variant, makikita natin sila sa angiogram. So ito, this angiogram, it is fluoroscopic guided or real-time imaging ito kapag ginagawa. So mayroong ginagamitan ng guide ng fluoroscopy. Yun nga lang, medyo mataas yung radiation na nare-receive ng patient kasi continuous yung radiation kasi nga real-time imaging. So another example are the anatomy of the circle of Willis and this one. I think this is an example of your time of flight or MR study. Okay? So this is the anterior communicating, anterior cerebral artery, ito yung internal carotid artery, then your basilar. So again, this is the anterior portion and this is a posterior portion, the right and the left. Same with this one, this image. So again, another example of angiogram of the circle of Willis. So lahat ng puti na yan, so vessel yan. So madaling makita kung merong mga aneurysm, narrowing, or mga thrombus formation or filling defects sa area na yan. So in CTA naman, ito yung nakikita natin. Okay, same lang. Ito yung basilar artery bifurcation. Ito na yung area ng anterior. Ito yung posterior ulit, right and your left. So sa CTA, nare-reconstruct naman yan, natatanggal yung area ng bone, so ang matitira lang yung vessel talaga para mas makita kung merong pathology. So ang tawag doon, high resolution CTA with the brain removed showing the adjacent bony anatomy. So it is useful in surgery planning of vessel with aneurysm. Okay, so ang tawag doon, nililinis yung area na may mga bone, tinatanggal yung area ng bone, natitira lang yung vessel for better visualization. Para hindi siya ganito kagulo or kahirap makita. So, again, kapag catheter angiogram, ito yung itsura na. So, lateral. So, sa catheter angiogram, ito lang yung area na ma-visualize. Hindi natin siya mapapaikot katulad nitong CT angiogram kasi narorotate to eh. And even the MR angiogram. After reconstruction, natira na lang yung vessel, we can rotate it and turn it upside down. Unlike yung catheter angiogram, itong area lang na to yung nakikita natin. Hindi natin nakikita yung likod na area ng vessels na yan. And it uses, again, fluoroscopy. So, guided by fluoroscopy ito. Okay. So, this one, ultrasound. Okay, so in ultrasound, it is not visible unless it is calcified. And the calcification, it commonly occurs in the carotid siphon near the pituitary fossa. So ang ultrasound, sa pediatric patients lang siya with open fontanelle, dun siya recommended. Kasi mahirap makita yung vessels or the arteries in your ultrasound unless yun nga, there is calcification. So let's go to the major arterial vascular territories of the CNS. First, you have the anterior cerebral artery. Yung A1 segment, it arises from the internal carotid artery and passes anteriorly superior to the optic chiasm. Okay, so katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, meron silang segment. So yung A1, and then yung A2, it runs in the interhemispheric fissure. And then the A3, around the genium of the corpus callosum, and passes posteriorly on its superior surface to supply the medial and superlateral aspect of the cerebral hemisphere posteriorly as far as the parieto-occipital surface. Okay, so in here, nandiyan nakikita natin yung A1 segment, the A1 segment of the anterior cerebral artery. So galing siya sa internal carotid artery. And then yung A2 or the vertical segment naman, it runs in interhemispheric fissure. So ito yung interhemispheric fissure. So ito yung vertical or A2 segment. So for the anterior cerebral artery pa rin. So ito yun sa lateral. O mas makikita natin pati yung A3 nandito sa area na to. The A2 kasi nasa interhemispheric fissure siya. Yung A1 yung pinaka-proximal or siya yung pinakagaling sa internal carotid artery. Then pinaka-distal yung A3. Okay, this is a CTA, example of a CT angiogram, and then the MRE. MR angiography or the time of flight angiography. So itong A3, Okay, so siya yung nakasurround sa around the genu of the corpus callosum. So ito yung genu of the corpus callosum. It passes posteriorly, okay, sa superior surface to supply the medial and superlateral aspect of the cerebral hemisphere. So next is the middle cerebral artery. So like the anterior cerebral artery, yung middle cerebral artery natin, meron din siyang segments. But the middle cerebral artery is the largest and the most direct of the branches of the internal carotid artery, and it is therefore the most prone to embolism. Okay, so in this image, again, anatomy of the middle cerebral artery. So lateral view, ito yung ating middle cerebral artery. It passes laterally and ends as branches on the insula to overlying opercula and most of the lateral surface of the cerebral hemisphere. Okay, so makikita natin dito, this is the M1 or the horizontal segment. So merong 4 segments ang MCA. Yung ACA merong 3 segments, yung MCA merong 4. So we have the horizontal segment in here, then the insular segment, and then the opercular segment, and then your cortical segment. M1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so yung M1 horizontal from the internal carotid artery to the lateral fissure. Yung M2, yung insular, designates the branches located inside the sylvian fissure. Yung M3 is the opercular, denominates the branches located between the top of the sylvian fissure and the cerebral cortex. And then the M4 segment or the cortical refers to arterial branches on the surface of the cerebral cortex. So again, angiogram showing you the segments of your middle cerebral artery and some of your anterior cerebral artery. So ito yung anterior communicating. Okay, so ito yung middle. Ito yung anterior area, ito ulit yung posterior. So this one showing you bilateral MCA territory infarction. Okay, so ito yung area na sinusupply ng MCA. So nagkaroon ng infarction. So kaya ganyan yung hitsura niya or kulay niya. No? So may infarct sa area na yan. That's bilateral MCA territory infarction. So saan ba natin nakikita yung middle cerebral artery? So in CT scan, ito yun, CT scan ito MRI. So in CT scan, ito siya. Okay? So kapag affected yung MCA, nagkakaroon minsan ng hyperdense artery sign. So minsan hyperdense artery, so merong, tapos makikita natin may infarction. So this one, MRI, ito yung middle cerebral artery natin. And then the posterior cerebral artery. So the posterior cerebral artery receives the posterior communicating artery of the internal carotid artery to complete the circle of Willis. Okay, so it runs laterally and posteriorly around the cerebral peduncle, parallel and superior to the superior cerebellar artery, and separated from this artery laterally by the tentorium. So kung mapapansin natin, yung tentorium nandun siya sa posterior area. Okay, hindi siya nakikita dito but because it focused on the vessels. So here's your posterior cerebral artery. And then ito yung posterior communicating kasi nagko-communicate siya dun sa middle. Okay, but this one is the posterior cerebral artery. Then your basilar and then your vertebra. So this is the posterior portion, this is the anterior portion. So katulad ng anterior and middle, yung posterior cerebral artery, meron din siyang segments. So the P1 segment, it courses from the basilar artery to the posterior communicating artery. Then the P2, it begins from the junction of the P1. And then this segment curves around the midbrain or your ambient cistern to go near the cranial nerve 4 above the tentorium cerebelli. And then your P3, it travels briefly to the quadrigeminal cistern, and then finally your P4, it ends in the calcarine fissure. So in MRI, ito yung area na in usual or routine MRI kapag ganito, so hindi natin masyadong makikita na maayos yung vessel, but possible pa rin naman na makita natin like this one. So ito yung posterior cerebral artery, yung P1 segment. So hindi lang siya talaga ganun kalinaw, no? But for angiogram, kapag angiogram na yung nakikita natin, mas ma-identify natin siya. And then ito yung P2 segment. So from the junction ng P1, ito yung area ng P2 segment. It curves around the midbrain. So pag nag-curve na dun sa midbrain, yun na yung P2. Okay, to go near the trochlear nerve or CN4. And then P3 and P4, hindi natin siya nakita dito sa area, sa view na to, axial view of MRI. So for the vascular territories, so we have the vascular territories. Kapag nakakita tayo ng mga imaging result, makikita natin may mga territorial infarction. So ito na yung mini-mention doon. So from the coffee bean to the worms level, the anterior cerebral artery supplies most of the midline. So as you can see, ito yung ating midline, ito yung posterior, ito yung anterior, ito yung right and middle. So the anterior cerebral artery supplies most of the midline. The anterior cerebral arteries supply a narrow band of the cerebral hemispheres adjacent to the midline. So ito yung sinusupply ng ECA, ito yung MCA, then ito yung PCA. The middle cerebral artery supplies the largest area of the brain. Okay, so yung middle cerebral artery ang may pinakamalaking supply sa brain. So from the Mr. SAD to the X levels, ito yung essential CT images natin, di ba? So the anterior, middle, and posterior cerebral arteries grossly supply the anterior, middle, and posterior part of the brain. Okay, so as you can see, naka-divide sila. So anterior, the middle, the posterior. So again, yung middle cerebral yung pinakamalaking sinusupply sa brain. Multiple tiny perforating branches of the middle cerebral artery supply the region of the basal ganglia and the insula. Okay, so ito na kasi yung area ng basal ganglia and insula. Okay, MCA pa rin. Pero multiple tiny perforating branches yun nagsusupply sa kanila. But then again, MCA pa rin. The vertebrobasilar arteries supply the cerebellum and brainstem. So ito naman, vertebrobasilar, more posterior. So yung sinusupply niya, more posterior din. Supplies your cerebellum and brainstem. So itong area ng cerebellum na, so vertebrobasilar artery niya, yun nagsusupply sa kanya. Ito yung area ng cerebrum. So ito yung anterior cerebral, middle cerebral, and then yung posterior. But this one, ito posterior part na ng brain, the cerebellum, which supplies supplied by the vertebrobasilar arteries. Okay. So this next series of images will show you the vessels. So by part yung yung makikita nyo per slice. No, so ito siya. Okay, yung area na yan, yung parang pumuti. So yan yung ating mga vessel. Okay, yung anterior, tapos ito na yung area ng middle. So ito yung ating area ng basilar na to kasi this is your pontine. So ito yung basilar artery. Okay, so ito na yung middle cerebral artery, right and left. Okay, this is the anterior, this is the posterior. Okay, so ito na yung papuntang posterior cerebral. Okay, so yan. So now let's go to the venous drainage naman of the CNS. The venous drainage of the CNS, it has large low-pressure veins within the folds of the dura, and they receive blood from the brain and the skull, or what we call diploic veins, and communicate with veins of the scalp and face, your emissary veins naman. So this one in here, sagittal view of the venous drainage of the CNS. So we have your superior sagittal sinus, the straight sinus, the inferior sagittal sinus, the internal cerebral veins, thalamus straight veins, and so on. Okay? So first, we have the superior sagittal sinus. So ayan. Okay, lateral view. Naka-lateral view yung image na yan. So that's your superior sagittal sinus. It is curvilinear, arises from ASC frontal veins as our ascending frontal veins, and it runs posteriorly at midline at the junction of the falx cerebri, and the important hemispheric tributary is the vein of Trollan. Okay, so that's the vein of Trollan. And the next is the inferior sagittal sinus, so more inferior. It is smaller than the superior sagittal sinus, lies above the corpus callosum. Okay, so yung inferior sagittal sinus ang mas close dun sa corpus callosum. It terminates at falcotentorial apex and join the vein of Galen to form the straight sinus in here. Okay, so nakikita naman natin yung straight sinus. So ito na yung straight sinus. And then yung straight sinus naman, it runs from palcotentorial posterior inferiorly to sinus confluens. And it receives the tributaries from falx, tentorium, and cerebral hemisphere. Okay, so siya nagre-receive from the falx, tentorium, and the cerebral hemisphere. Itong straight sinus na to. The next is the cavernous sinus in here. Either side of the pituitary gland and the body of the sphenoid bone connected across the midline by intracavernous. Then your sigmoid sinus. So as you can see, parang naka-curve yung sigmoid sinus. It is antero-inferior continuation of your transverse sinus, and it terminates by becoming the internal jugular vein. Okay, so bago magkaroon ng internal jugular vein, sigmoid muna. And then bago mag-sigmoid, transverse sinus muna. Okay, then finally your transverse sinus, it runs right and left from the confluence of the sinuses to the mastoid bone, where they turn inferiorly and become the sigmoid sinus. Okay, so these are the venous drainage of the brain. So nakita natin kanina yung angiogram, yung mga arteries, circle of Willis angiogram, but this one, venous phase angiogram naman. So magkaiba yung timing nun kapag ginawa. Okay, yung timing sa pag-appear ng contrast, magkaiba yung venous and arterial. So alam na ng mga radiologic technologists yun. So this is a lateral view of the venous phase angiogram. So ito yung superior sagittal sinus, then the inferior sagittal sinus, the straight sinus, sigmoid, the transverse sinus, and then ito na yung area ng jugular vein. Okay, so bago mag-sigmoid, bago mag-jugular vein, sigmoid muna. And then bago mag-sigmoid, transverse muna. And then this area is the cavernous sinus. So this one naman, MRI again, axial. So dito sa area na to, parang nasa coffee bean slice tayo, makikita natin yung superior sagittal sinus. Ito yung anterior part and then the posterior ulit. Anterior, posterior. So this is the anterior end of the superior sagittal, and then this is the posterior end of the superior sagittal sinus. And this one naman, showing you the vein of Galen, the straight sinus, and then the superior sagittal sinus in here, posteriorly. So this one, sa area naman na to, nakikita na natin yung transverse sinus and then the cavernous sinus. So hindi sa isang slice makikita natin silang lahat. Okay? So I think this is my last slide. We'll continue or finish the spinal cord by next week. Thank you.